Ladies and gentlemen, bit of a raw one today. I'm going to go through one of my old calls from about a year ago when I was on a trading offer. I'm going to start with a bit of a shout out. I hope you're all starting to realise that when you see these influencers online, these sales guys doing these like objection handling things, and they're doing 50 of them a week and they're out on the social media, all these quick lines, they are fake. I hope you know that, right? And if you notice, a lot of the I guess like heavily marketed remote closing businesses out there, usually with names like something club or something capital or whatever the hell, they all seem, it's when they overhype these overhype cartel sales training businesses. None of the founders ever post sales calls, have ever in the history of them existing online, have ever posted a sales call, which is kind of weird. So you have like one extreme where people are posting the best objection handling ever and it's so obviously fake. And then on the other hand, you have people who are posting nothing. It's interesting. So I'm going to start trying to dig out some of my old calls and go through them live with you and show what went well, what could be improved. I'm going to start looking at some of my current students, the ones that have been with me for a year, 2 years, see how they're getting on. So let's just dive in. I'll try and keep this raw, uncut, and we'll just wing it and see how it goes, and it'll give you a chance to see basically what like a real closing call looks like, that isn't highly edited and done with my best friend. It's done with a guy in America for a trading offer. $7,500 was the ticket price, and I closed him in 1 hour and 12 minutes. So let's dive in. I'm going to dive in a bit into the call, and let's have a look at what his desire is. We'll try and figure out when that starts.
Children, buy a house. How much would you need to be making on a monthly basis in order for you to achieve that?
To be able to leave my job or just, to be able to have more free time. I mean, I would say anywhere from like probably 5 to 10,000 a month.
This guy is starting quite small. This is quite common when people have got big dreams. They're almost like hesitant to tell you what their true desire is. So it's up to us as closers to keep pressing on that. We never want to take that surface level response. If someone says, yeah, I just want to earn a bit more money. Yeah, I just want a bit more free time. An extra 5k a month would be all right. Like, is that really what you want? Is that really what you want? And it never is. And if you don't get that high impact outcome or desired state, if you don't get that from someone, the whole sales call will be weak. So it's really important to keep pushing and figuring out like what this would really mean for that person.
My wife does pretty good for herself with her own business, and so I don't need to make a lot to be able to do that. Obviously, sky is the limit, eventually scale, but to be able to quit the job, yeah, I mean, really probably only like 5,000 a month or more, maybe a little bit more.
Okay, but I guess if we push past that, like bare minimum, what would you really like to be earning from trading on a monthly basis?
I mean, 10,000 plus would be awesome because, or 10, 15, because figuring in taxes and everything. So it's like, I live in Minnesota, so capital gains taxes are pretty high here in this state. So yeah, I'd say around that mark, 10,000 plus a month.
Okay, so if we're at like the 10, 15k mark, when you're earning that consistently, how does that change things for you?
Oh man, I wouldn't have to work a job. I'd be able to have the free time.
See how we've gone from 5k be okay to, oh man, if I was earning that'd mean I wouldn't have to work my job. We're starting to get that actual emotional response from him, and that is where the sale starts to be made.
Time to wake up and trade, and then not have to go to work and just be able to spend more time doing what I would want to do and hanging out with my wife, and eventually with starting a family. So, but I'm always willing to. I want to stay busy. I don't want to get super bored, and then if I'm not doing anything, I don't want to be going out and spending all that money. I want to stay on the grind to create more memories. That my parents aren't getting any younger, so it's just it would definitely be just a huge accomplishment because I've been doing it for so long, and just like so a step forward and then 2 steps back. So it would definitely be very, it'd be big, probably one of the biggest accomplishments that I, would ever have so far leading up to it.
Okay. One of the biggest accomplishments he's ever achieved. Big statement.
Definitely be pretty great.
Who else does that impact?
See how easy it would have been to just leave that there? He said it'd be a really big achievement. Move on. We keep going, because then all of a sudden the value that we are offering, but also that emotional response that we're getting from the prospect, is going to increase. So we're going to keep probing and understanding what that really big desire is, how that changes things, who else that impacts, what that'd be like for them. We're keeping going. And that sort of money.
I mean, my wife for sure. My parents, be able to give back to them, and just be able to do things for them, for obviously for everything they've done for me over the years and paid for and whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, ultimately, I see time as a tool to create more memories and to be able to do things with friends and family. Money isn't everything in the world, but having money, everything costs money, and money solves a lot of problems. So being able to have that type of income from trading, to be able to be so financially stable, and not have to worry about getting fired from a job, or if work's coming in, like it's all dependent on me. I'm my own boss. It's up to me to do it. If I fail, I have no one else to blame but myself, or making mistakes. So yeah, it would definitely help a lot with just not having to go grind a 9 to 5 every day. So
how long have you actually wanted to achieve this level of like financial freedom and achievement and being a high earner? How long has that sort of been a dream for you, Dalton?
We ask questions to get like a metric on how long someone has wanted that desired state or outcome. It's one of the key questions you will ask during a sales call, because if someone has wanted a desired state or a desired outcome of living for a long time, later in the call, which I'll pretty much skip straight there rather than listen to the whole call, we're going to challenge them softly and question essentially why they haven't achieved it. If they wanted to live a certain way for 5 years, 10 years, why aren't they there yet? And that's when we're going to start getting people's limitations or beliefs that have held them back. And then in turn, that's going to allow us to prevent a lot of objections and create urgency.
I would say back in like high school, I knew that I wasn't going to go a traditional route, and that I wanted more out of my life, because I would see older people around me. My parents struggled financially for quite a while, and still do, because they didn't make the best financial decisions. And I always knew that I didn't want to struggle. I wanted to be able to be financially free and to have money to not have to worry about, hey, I need to go spend $500-600 on groceries this week and next week, but am I going to be able to? Can I afford it? Or going on trips, as a family. I always knew I wanted to do more. And that's why I knew I didn't necessarily want to go to college, because I mean, going to college, unless you're going to be a doctor, you can make a couple $100,000 there, but it's all about who you know, not what you know. And I always have believed that. And so I just established a lot of relationships and connections throughout my high school years and out of high school. And when I started getting into different hobbies, cars, trucks, just seeing the finer things in life.
Let's skip ahead a bit, because I'm pretty sure this guy rambles quite a lot. And let's have a look for when we address the limiting beliefs.
The community and everything, along with Alex's guidance. I mean, whether it takes 2, 3, 4, 5 months, a year, like at this point, I'm ready to 100% stay consistent and not give up when it gets a little lonely and tough. And because financially, like I'm at a point where I can invest that time and not get to the point of like, man, I need this to work next month, or by the end of this year, whatever. Like if it takes me another year, 2 years, like that's totally fine. I don't believe it would, being in his group with the results that I guess that he posted and I've seen. But yeah, it's just been an up and down time, I guess, the past few years for sure.
I mean, you seem like a pretty sharp guy, but you've wanted this level of financial freedom for like 5 years. What do you feel has stopped you from achieving this already, do you think?
Key question. We're getting him to look at what has held him back up until now. It's really important. A lot of people blame external factors on why they aren't where they want to be. A lot of people I know, they're always blaming time or knowledge or money for the reason that they aren't where they want to be. But ultimately, you want to get into the mindset of asking prospects, okay, would you agree or disagree that there was people who were in a similar or potentially even a worse off situation than you were that managed to figure it out? And they will always say yeah. And then you'll say, okay, so why not you? What's actually held you back? And this is where you're going to get the limitations or maybe some like negative beliefs that people hold that you need to challenge and help them to overcome it. So that's what I'm doing here.
I feel like definitely, well, for one is just the inconsistency of not keeping my head down and continuing at it for a long enough time. And I mean, yeah, that's the biggest contributor, not believing in myself. I guess, yeah, I mean, I've definitely had a lot of friends, a lot of people say that trading is a scam, it doesn't work, blah, blah. So, I mean, that's definitely affected me in the past. Yeah, I just mentally, as I just have gotten a little older and learned more lessons, I think I just wasn't maybe fully ready to commit and stick with it and have that drive to keep going no matter what. Because it just felt like I've been doing it on my own, you know? Yeah.
So I guess this lack of commitment and this lack of belief in yourself and also the vehicle, during this time over the past 5 years, while this has been looming over you, you wanted to achieve this for that entire time. Like, if you were to achieve that in the first year, you could have left $500,000 on the table, $1 million on the table, potentially. I guess if you would have stuck to it and been 100%.
That's some context from earlier in the call, because he was saying that he feels if he would have learned trading earlier on, then he would be earning 10, 20, 30k a month. So if he had taken action 5 years ago when he actually wanted to do this, that was a calculation that I was making there.
100% committed and had that 100% belief in yourself. How would that have changed things for you?
Well, I wouldn't be working a job still. I got married 4 years ago. So that definitely was a big part of things, planning a wedding. Just being engaged and that stuff was a distraction. But as far as how it would have changed things, I mean, wouldn't have been in debt for so long from the wedding. I would have been able to, probably would have had.
Can you see, like, I'll actually be blurring this out so you won't be able to see, so I'll describe it. He's like looking down and you can see that, like, he's really starting to feel what life would have been like if he would have taken action previously, and potentially like what he's left on the table. That's what you're looking for.
A kid or two by now. That was partially why I haven't decided to bring a kid in the world. Just wanted to get more financially stable.
He's not brought a kid into the world because he didn't take action on something that he knows that he should have. All of a sudden, we've taken him from the beginning of the call, when he was like earning an extra 5k a month would be okay, to this. See how like the impacts developed over the course of the call?
And be responsible. So yeah, I mean, definitely has changed things. I definitely could have been in a way different spot if I would have continued to push and just keep my head down and not let the distractions take over and sacrifice. Like, I haven't sacrificed the time enough to be able to get there. Like, it doesn't just come overnight, you know. I know I got to put the time in, and like that's where I feel like I'm there. I'm at that point. I'm at the point where I just it's all or nothing. Like, that's plan A. There is no B, C, or D. It's make trading work. Like, it's gonna work. I gotta get to that point.
So, looking at this together, what do you need to let go of so we can actually move towards and achieve this goal?
I need to let go of the fear of the past mistakes and try to take away some lessons from them in regards to trading, as far as letting my emotions get to me, over trading, just not being smart, letting go of outsiders' perspectives, other people's opinions around it, and just fully committing. And I mean, definitely have my wife's support. So that's I don't think that's an issue. But yeah, I think I need to like unlearn some things that I've learned, I feel like, in trading, and I kind of want like a fresh start, a new way of looking at the markets, from someone that has a proven strategy like Alex. And I just need to not worry about the past mistakes and just try to learn from them, and let that go, and just like, all right, clean slate, fresh start. Let's dive in head first and put the time in.
Okay. Well, if we continue to hold on to this fear and this lack of commitment, and we let that control us and dictate our decisions, what does life look like 3-4 years down the line?
Life would probably look like regret.
Oof. If he didn't take action, life would look like regret.
Why do you use
Still
that
at
word?
So I pick up on it there and I say, why would you use that word?
What's that?
Why do you use that word, regret?
Regret, as far as regretting that I didn't that I didn't take advantage of the opportunities I had sooner, and put the work in and not give up. And looking back, if I was in the same spot 3-4 years down the road, and that, if I knew I didn't do something about it, I would definitely regret that. At least, regret not trying. I regret not trying to join, whether it was Alex or just someone's group of more better mentorship. I definitely regret that. But like I said, from following Alex for so long, I wish I would have tried sooner, to join his group, because that definitely has held me back. And I could have been in a completely different spot if I would have done something about it a year,
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, so I guess we've got two versions of Dalton, right? We've got the version of you that continues letting fear and lack of commitment control him, and he stays where he is, and he basically just looks back with regret. But then
This is like identity sales techniques, whereby you're attempting to split their identity into like a past version of themselves and their aspirational identity, the person that they ultimately want to become. So we're going to try and get them to start acting like that person.
Then there's the other version of you that takes action, lets go of fear, lets go of the lack of commitment, and
A year,
Okay.
2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, so I guess we've got two versions of Dalton, right? We've got the version of you that continues letting fear and lack of commitment control him, and he stays where he is, and he basically just looks back with regret. But then there's the other version of you that takes action, lets go of fear, lets go of the lack of commitment, and actually achieves what he desires, which is this life where you've got complete financial freedom. You can look after your partner, you can look after your mum and dad. You don't have to trade time for money in a 9 to 5. When we look at these two outcomes, who ultimately controls which one of them becomes a reality?
Definitely myself.
And I guess when you've actually achieved all that, and you are that person, that Dalton 2.0, what's that moment worth to you?
This is like future pacing. There's some context there from earlier in the call, obviously, but I'm getting him to a place whereby he can step into that version of him and imagine what it's actually like at that moment when he has achieved all that. So we're like getting him to feel the emotions of the future, but now, and that's gonna evoke like a really good response.
I don't know. It kind of makes me emotional, but
Making him emotional, that's good.
I don't know, man. I guess I've seen people talk about like enjoy the process, trust the process, and don't just wish to skip ahead to that success, because the journey getting there is what creates and builds creates can create character, and can build you up to this great person by going through these struggles. So to go through the struggles, to have a story of failure, and to get over that hump of the fear of failing and the fear of other people's thoughts and opinions, and to finally be able to say that I did it. Like I'm successful in trading and financially free from trading. Man, it would be pretty amazing.
Right, let's go through the pitch. This is the pitch. Only a short pitch, 10 minutes, and then we'll get to like price drop, where we offer him the price, and let's see what objections we have to face.
Any sort of investment that's like, oh, if I need tomorrow, I can't afford to put petrol in my car, right? So I guess what would be like the maximum that you feel comfortable with, and then I can maybe look at like a bespoke plan for you.
Probably I mean, probably two.
This guy already knew the price before the call, so it was just a case of seeing which one worked. I'm gonna have to adjust this lens because it's looking really dark. 'Cause it's starting to go dark here. Let's see. There we go. Raw and uncut. So this was how we had to drop the price because it was a big investment. We always tended to lean towards payment plans because this guy said on the form that he did not have the capital. So I'm figuring out basically what works for him here. Usually we'd be going for paid in fulls, ideally.
2 to 3,000. I mean,
I'm just trying to get him tied down into a payment here. 2 to 3K, he said.
probably 2 to 3,000. I mean,
Ooh, wife objection.
about spending that kind of money for sure.
So what about if we looked at it over we'll split it over 3 payments. So 3 payments of 2,500.
Over 3 months, you're saying?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that could work.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you're going to speak to your partner. Then, like, what is it that your partner does for work?
So what a lot of closers do is when someone raises an objection, but it's like in the middle of a sentence, they'll try and push it under the rug. You don't really want to do that because if someone's got like a big objection, like they've got to speak to the wife, it's not going away. If you just talk more, it's not going away. So just be open about it. So just bring it back up to the surface. I'm not avoiding the question. Tell me a bit more about your partner. So I've just asked, what does your partner do for work?
She has her own social media business. So she does like content creation and account management. And she does some affiliate marketing as well.
Okay. So like, I guess when she's making decisions for her social media clients, does she run like every decision past you, or does she sort of take control?
Let me slow this down a little bit because I think I've got it a bit too fast.
That could work.
Yeah, and I heard you mention you're going to speak to your partner. Then, like, what is it that your partner does for work?
She has her own social media business. So she does like content creation and account management. Then she does some affiliate marketing as well.
Okay. So like, I guess when she's making decisions for her social media clients, does she run like every decision past you, or does she sort of take control?
For her social media clients, I mean, no, she does all that.
Okay. So I guess with this being like your career, would it be fair to say that this is something that you have to step into and take ownership of this decision so then you can better your career and you can make a better life for you and your family?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up to me, but I mean, at the end of the day, if we're trying to get into a house and stuff, I mean, I don't want to just like spend all that money without talking to her about it and figuring out how we're gonna come up with that, and just paying for it each month.
Sure, absolutely. I completely understand. Listen, I'm engaged too. I get it. I mean, have you thought about what happens if she says no? Like, what would you do?
I mean, I'll try and work on trying to get her to see the potential and look down the road, and like it's an investment today, but I mean it can pay off big time if I put the time and the effort in and stick with it. The return, the ROI could definitely be a lot more than 7,500.
So he's just admitted there that even if his wife says no, he's going to really try to persuade her because he believes X, Y, Z.
Yeah, you got that right. So do you feel like no matter what, you go ahead with this?
I think so, yeah. I think it's just a matter of just how fast I have to pay that money.
I would have done something slightly different here. When he said, I think so, I would have probably challenged that, and I would have said, you think so or you know so? So we got certainty from him. I probably wouldn't have let that slide as easy now, looking back.
And how she feels about it, I guess. If she's willing to help. I mean, she makes more money than me. So it's definitely not like, I mean, our money is, I guess, combined because we're married, but we have a separate account. Like we don't have joint bank accounts for everything. It's kind of like a savings account that we have together, but I guess, yeah, it's just, I feel like, spending spending that kind of money, definitely like a respectful thing to do is just talk to her about it and see what she thinks and try to explain to her why it is that price because of everything that I'm getting access to and the potential that it could turn into down the road.
Sure. But I guess, do you mind me making a bit of a suggestion?
Sure.
Like, up until now, over the past 5 years, you've been trying to make this work. You've been trying to get this level of financial freedom for you, but also for her, right? But fear and lack of commitment.
So what I'm doing here is like reminding him of the limiting beliefs that earlier in the call had said that has been holding him back all this time. So the fear and I can't remember, the hesitation that had been holding him back up until now, I'm like dropping that in there again, like to sort of say, is that thing again that you said earlier that you really need to let go of, otherwise your life's going to be filled with regret and pain and failure? Is that thing again coming up?
The way up until now. Is this just not another way of disguising the same things that have been holding you back until now, and not actually just committing to you, to yourself, but also to her? And when you step into that house later and you say, darling, I've made an investment for us and for our future, and I'm going to make sure it works no matter what.
I'm getting him to take ownership of this here. Like, ultimately, your wife, she decides her stuff. This is your stuff. It's time for you now to take ownership of that. And if you're going to do it anyway, and even if she says no, you're going to do it, then would it not make sense to walk through those doors? And I'm trying to like make him feel like a leader here, and walk in and say, I've done this on our behalf and made that decision as the man of the house.
Rather than essentially like asking for permission. I
probably wouldn't say that either. It's a little bit combative saying asking for permission. He could get pissed off with me saying that, but I don't think he does.
Do you feel like it's going to get you to where you want to go?
I mean, yeah, definitely the second for sure. I mean, yeah.
I know you can make this work, but you've got to commit to yourself. Whether you buy it or not, like, to be fair, it doesn't make any difference to me. But I can see you've got that potential there, and I can see that this like lack of commitment has held you back up until now.
I'm acknowledging that I also believe in him, but saying basically the same things that have held you back up until now are still holding you back. And I'm trying to like detach from being Mr. Closer like I want to buy. Probably could have done that a little bit better, but still. Always improving.
So I guess like what I'm asking, are you ready to sort of like push against that like mammal brain that I mentioned earlier that's always trying to keep you comfortable, and instead of trying to ask for permission and try and make it work, saying, actually, do you know what? I'm going to commit to myself and I'm going to make this work one way or another.
Making him commit.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, could have him here.
Is there any other options that you guys have?
In what sense?
Like for...
You know, when people say is there any other options, a lot of closers will go, yeah, we've got this, this and this. Always ask a clarifying question. Let's skip forward a little bit here because I think we're going to go into like payment plans.
Pay? Is it just a 3-month one?
Well, the best I could do is I could split it into 4. So it'd be 4 payments of $1,875. And that's like a one-time offer. Like if we're going to do that today, then I can do that.
Silence is a tool.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say yes. I just really want to talk to her first about it, but I totally get where it's like I go inside and kind of say what you had said earlier. Like I made an investment.
See, you like that. He likes that statement of him being that leader of walking through the door and saying like, I made an investment for us. He likes it.
And in our future and whatnot. Like, I mean, it definitely. I hear that. I understand that for sure. It's just the amount of money for the group was definitely more than I anticipated. But I know I know it would pay off. It's just a lot upfront, and like that's adding a lot of a lot of money per month that's like going out.
But I guess
I think I'm going to potentially reframe him here, because we've already reframed one objection. And this is what happens a lot of the time in objection handling. Like, people give you one, and then it turns into another, and then it turns into another, and you've got to be able to like show them a different way of thinking about things. That's basically all objections is.
Can I offer like a different way of looking at this?
Sure. Yeah.
Is it actually adding to the financial burden every month, or is it actually taking away the financial burden every month?
That money.
Yeah. If you look at it on a longer period of time, other than just the first couple of months.
I mean,
probably could have made that question a little bit better, and because it obviously confused him, I think I would have made that into one question and said, if we look at this over a longer time frame and facing financial burdens on a monthly basis like you have been doing for the past 5 years, by investing in this, does this actually add or does it take away the financial burdens? If we look at this on a longer time frame, would have been better.
Long term, no, definitely. It's just, I mean, there's still no guarantee. Like, there's no magic pill. Obviously, it comes down to me, but I guess it's just the thought of like, just the fear of it not working and investing all so much money. But
sure,
I mean,
I get it, but ultimately, you said it yourself earlier. You've just repeated back to me the thing that's held you back for the past 5 years.
Yeah.
You've just literally said, "Oh, what if it doesn't work? There's no guarantee." Like that. You've openly said to me earlier that was the thing that has held you back from getting here so far. So I guess are you going to just keep letting it hold you back, or are you actually just going to push against it? Because you can do this all right. You've said it yourself. You've just got to push against that fear and push against that lack of commitment that's held you back up until now.
Again, would have slightly improved that. It's still not bad, by all means, but I probably would have given him looked at this from a different perspective and said sort of, if you continue letting fear hold you back, like it is doing right now, if we look another 5 years down the line, what do things look like then? And then maybe loop that identity back in. If we go back to that version of you that you want to become, Dalton, the one that's providing, the one that's da-da-da-da-da, what would he do right now? I think would have been a little bit better than that sentence. This is the thing, guys. This is raw. I've not watched this in a long time. It's a real call with an American. There's not many people who do this. There's a couple of coaches out there. My mentor does this, and that's why I went with him, because it's easy to get your friend to sit on a Zoom and do a mock call, and it's great and it's informative for people and it helps them to understand objection handling. But looking at a real call is different, because you get thrown curveballs on real calls. You don't feel 100% every single time you show up. Variables change, things change. Humans are not as predictable as a script, and that's why I don't teach people how to sell just with a script, because sure, it works on 10-15% of prospects, but then you have guys like this who are all over the place, and you've got to be malleable enough to face any objection as it arises.
Yeah. Do you guys have any like reviews and testimonials and stuff to see?
For what?
From people that have had success like within the group.
Yeah, but I mean, what use is that to you?
I guess just hearing from other people that have been in it and that are in it and that have had success. I mean, obviously there is people, but
yeah, we've got hundreds, if not thousands. But what I'm asking is, like, what relevance is that to you? Because they all committed and showed up and actually did the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How to handle do you have any testimonials objection? What relevance is that to you?
More of a mental thing, I guess. But yeah, I guess it really doesn't matter.
Ultimately, people look for like reviews and that sort of thing. You've already checked Alex out. You've been following him for years. You've already seen this. Like, you've already seen people from the group on his story. And
the reason I handled it like that is because I know this guy had been in like the pipeline for 2 years. He'd been getting emails. He'd been following us on Instagram and YouTube. I knew he'd seen all this shit. So why are you asking for it now? it's an excuse. So I didn't let it go. If it's the first time someone's been on the call and it's also they've only just come across you, then you'd have to handle this slightly different. But if someone's been in the pipeline, they've been getting emails from you every week, they've been watching all your YouTubes, they've been following on your Instagram. Someone asks for testimonials. Like, what the fuck do you need them for? You've been watching us for the past 500 hours and you've not taken action. What's some like video of some geezer gonna change anything? I'd just send you the best reviews anyway. It makes no difference.
His highlights on his YouTube, you've already seen the payouts. Otherwise, we wouldn't be on this call. It's just a way to deflect responsibility from something that you know is right.
Yeah.
It's up to you, dude. Like, I don't want to push you into something that you don't want to do, but in the same breath, I also don't want you to walk away from something that you know is right, that you know that's going to give the financial freedom to you and to your family, and you just don't do it because it's a bit uncomfortable.
Is this like with our call right now? Is this like the end all be all? Like it has to be a yes or no right now?
No, it doesn't have to be.
A really common thing that comes up in sales calls when people is like, do I have to make a decision right now? We don't want to say yeah and put on like false urgency here, but we do want to frame it in a way that makes them take action. I'm not sure how I do that.
It doesn't have to be, but I'm sitting with you now, and for me, what's the people who make success? This is our inner circle, right? We're pretty protective of it. The people who make success of it are people who are decisive and people who actually own the success and own their actions. I'm not really in the interest of following up and jumping on more calls, and you have all the information in front of you right now. You know what's been holding you back. So if it's not for you today, that's fine. We've got a long line of people who are applying to join, dude. But if it is for you, and you know it is, and the only thing holding you back is a little bit of discomfort, then let's push the button and dive in.
Again, could have been handled just a little bit better, that section, I feel. Let's move it forward because I don't want this video to go on too long.
$18.75 because that's a full pay, yeah. And then there'll be three other payments of $18.75 every 30 days.
Okay. What's the best way to how do I pay?
I'll go through the onboarding with you now. Are we doing this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me share my screen with you.
Okay. And that's a review of this call. That's one of probably 3,000, 5,000, I don't know how many sales calls I've had at this point, but over 200 million in sales. Always improving. This is like game tape. If you're an athlete, you should always be watching your calls, seeing what you could have done better, because no matter who you are, you could always get better. You can always be improving. And there's definitely a few things in that I would do differently today. This was about a year ago, and I've come on so much as a closer and as a coach in that amount of time. This is a raw, honest perspective of a sales call, and this is what they look like. They're not always 100% tidy like you see on Instagram. So if you want some help getting better at sales, if you want to become a remote high ticket closer and you're not already, if you're a remote high ticket closer but your close rate's really low, generally if you just want some help becoming an elite closer and you want assistance finding the best opportunities on the market, then there should be a video below this video. There should be a link below this video where you can apply to work with me. We can hop on a call, have a chat, or if you've got any questions, then you can just drop me a DM, the word closed, and we can pick up a discussion on Instagram. I wish you all the best of luck and happy closing. Ciao.